Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Dipankar, and today in this video, in short, we'll learn about how to effectively learn OmniStudio in 2026. So, if you go to YouTube, watch some of the videos, or maybe Udemy, or maybe if you want to refer the Trailblazer community groups, you might see there are different versions of different user experiences present for them, right? So how to know which one is to learn, and even if you get to learn the get to work on different versions or different flavors of them, how do you watch the videos or how do you watch the tutorial and connect them effectively, right? So let's say this is a version A, let's say, and here the OmniScript looks something like this. But if you go to this one, uh, let's say this is a different version, the OmniStudio looks different, right? The integration procedures, if I open a data mapper, it opens something like this. Then it might be confusing for you. You might be figuring out, okay, so what I have to learn and what I because you might see that okay, so this is different and what I'm seeing in this video is different, and that might create a confusion, and I am here to remove that confusion from your mind, right? So at present there are two different versions, okay? So the if you are around 2024 to 2026, maybe late 2024 to 2026, you'll see the OmniScripts open like this. If you just go to all OmniScripts, and if you just click any OmniScript, it will open in a new window, something like this. And similar to if you open any data mapper from here, let's say I open a data mapper, it will open a new window, right? And similar happens to the integration procedures as well. But and this is because this is on the standard runtime, right? So if you just go to the org under OmniStudio settings, you can see that this manage package designer is turned off and manage package runtime is turned off, and OmniStudio metadata, that is also something that I'm gonna explain, right? And if you go to the other org in which this manage package designer version was turned on, so if you just go to this OmniStudio settings, I can see that this manage package designer is turned on. The manage package, even if you turn on the manage package runtime, the UI still going to look the same. But the way this works, right? So if I open a text one, let's say this is a text input, the name, field, label, it is required or not, read only or not, the validation options, conditional view, everything would function as each in both standard and managed package runtime. Let's say I am here in a different versions, right? Right. So if I just open this same thing, we'll see this required read only, disabled or not, validations options, conditional view, everything. You will see most of the options, right? And similar way to the data mappers, right? If I see the, let's say this is a post data mapper, the formula mapping, everything will be same. It's just that the options is moved to here and maybe in the other data mapper. Although that is extract, you can see the options directly over here. But the functionality still remains intact, right? So that's why it is also easier if you, I mean, Salesforce also is providing the functionality if you want to migrate the OmniStudio from managed package runtime to standard runtime. Now, when I say managed package runtime, standard designer, metadata enabled, lot of terms, right? Lot of jargons, and that's what might be confusing you, right? So let me just give you an brief overview of how OmniStudio came into picture, the journey and all the stops, right? So earlier, what used to happen, there was a company called Velocity, right? Velocity was established around 2024 or 2014 or something around that. Then what they did, they created something called as Velocity Digital Studio. And in this digital studio, they have incorporated the things that we see, right? Uh, Called as OmniScripts, right? This OmniScript, data raptors, integration procedures, and velocity cards. This one is different. So we had velocity cards, right? Now Apart from that, because it was, the intent was not to introduce a new component or something, they're solving some of the problems, right? So they also added the product and rating calculations, EPC, CPQ, order management, all those stuffs, right? And when they did it, they did it for insurance and communication, and few other industry verticals. And now somewhere around 2019, Salesforce acquisitions happened. So Velocity was acquired by Salesforce. And what Salesforce does, they created an package, and that was, they were letting the user, or let's say the uh, organizations, to um, just to install it to any org and just get started. Now around this time, this Velocity card, right, and OmniScripts, they were basically on the Angular JS framework. And now they converted this OmniScripts and Flex cards into LWC framework, and it was based on the JSON structure. So what I was saying is that when it was with Velocity Digital Studio, it was an Angular JS, and Salesforce acquired it. And after some time, they were letting the users to install into any org. And these OmniScripts and FlexCards are now, instead of Angular JS, now they are into LWC based structures. But even after that, the components are generated, right? The components are generated using JSON file, right? So if I show you basically over here, um, let's say I have a order, right? So if I just click on the same export, if you see this, it will create JSONs, right? And this is a just normal Salesforce developer, or only with OmniStudio installed. It's not of any industry cloud. So that means at this point, even if I show you, right? I mean, I can also show you this as well. So there was no other packages, let's say the education cloud, financial, insurance, nothing was installed. It was just a developer edition. If you see over here, this is also a developer edition. It has no other install. So they were letting the users to install it in any org, and they have done it. And the export was happening with JSON. Then what happened? Then they stopped the users to install it anywhere, and they created basically industry clouds. And in industry clouds, let's say they have introduced more industries: financial services clouds, PSS, public sector solutions, education clouds, etc. And now they are shipping Omni Studio with these industry clouds only. And in this industry clouds, now it was earlier in a JSON based structure, right? So if I show you, now since they were letting users to install in any kind of orgs, right? And they are calling it as industry clouds. Earlier it was to happen in JSON based structure, and they have done some developments, and now it's in the XML based structures, right? And that's where the development and deployment CI/CD pipelines were become easier. So if I show you over here, in the VS Code, there is something called Omni Data Transfer, Omni Integration Procedure, Omni Script, and Omni UI Card. And they are now in the XML format, right? If you see, the XML format is present, right? Now, apart from that, they have also included different other features. For example, discovery framework, stage management, record alerts, timelines, live events. Then they added interaction and interaction summaries. They have also added, let's say for FSCs and education cloud, they have included compliance management. And one more thing they have added, called as business rules engine. And this business rules engine is also being used in different other, or let's say revenue cloud advance. They are using this as pricing procedures, right? In education cloud, they are using this for the policy rules, GPI calculations, and all these stops as well. And up to this, it is fine. Now, when I say managed package runtime and standard runtime, right? So what is there? What is managed package runtime and standard runtime? And before that, when I say this metadata enabled, so that's where, if you see the OmniStudio settings, the OmniStudio metadata is enabled here. And once this is enabled, this cannot be disabled, and that's where we were able to see this kind of features. We are able to create metadata XML files. And earlier, what used to happen, there was a separate CI/CD tools, let's say Velocode, or maybe um, 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 other, let's say, gear sets, auto rabbits. They have created that separate tools to migrate these JSON based components and these versionings and all these stuffs. Now it can simply, I just click on just deploy the source to org, and it will be just deployed. No other complexity is present, and it can be done using SF CLI, right? Now it can be done using SF CLI. So apart from that, okay, so let's talk about this managed package runtime and standard runtime, right? So if you see my previous videos, right, in YouTube around 3 4 years ago, or maybe the around 1 and 1.5 years ago as well, you see the UI looks something like this. The Omni scripts, then the data mappers look like this, and they will open in a new tab, but in the same window. But if I just open it from the current versions, let's say current runtime version that is called managed package runtime, it will open in a new window. So functionally everything is same. Is It's just that the way that it used to work was different. The behind the scene, the things have been changed, but logic was still intact even when it was around 2029 19. Around 95% of the things are same technically, if you want to just do the development, right? The deployment, the scene behind the scene works, that they are different. Now, if you are just learning the Omni Studio in 2026, right? So you make sure that you learn Omni scripts, flexcards, data mappers. So then, okay, so this data mappers, right? So data raptors was turned into, they are now calling it as data mappers. So in summer you will see data raptors, and in summer you will see data mappers. Okay. And again, for some time, the versioning was introduced, let's say V1, V2 by Salesforce. Okay. So let me show you as well. So if you see a data mapper, let's say if I open any data mappers, although the versioning is not in function now, the versioning was present. Then Salesforce took it off. Now read it somewhere that the versioning is also coming back in the summer 2026 into Salesforce for the data mappers, right? So now you have to learn all these things along with the industry common features, because wherever you work in the Studio right now, that will be in a particular industry, and based on the requirement, you might have to learn all these things. And then only learning these things will not help. You also have to learn how to use LWC inside OmniScript, right? So there are actually different ways of using LWCs. Let's say, if you just, uh, let's say there is this custom LWC, you can drag it and just give the properties, right? Give the properties, and you can just give the name, right? So this is one way. And let's say if I go to this text element, there is also a way of overriding the Lightning Web Components. So this is something you also wants to learn. And then there is something called as remote actions. Okay. See, this remote actions basically use the Apex classes, right? So in this remote class and remote method, you have to create Apex classes. So earlier, what used to happen, uh, let me show you. in these remote actions, if you see the previous videos in the managed package versions, or maybe around 2023, most of the videos present in YouTube are in that format. So it was used to extend a interface, right? So it was Velocity open in interface 2. Now it's all done using by implementing the callable interfaces. Sorry, interfaces are being implemented, not extended. Extend, if you want to extend, you can do using abstract classes. But here you might see the way there is slight difference. It's not like a lot of differences. If you see those videos, just go through the documentation and see how this callable works. Almost 2 3 lines of code, and you can just try convert your Apex classes into replace the velocity open interface to interface with the callable interface. This is also something that you have to learn, right? So I hope I was able to make you understand about how to learn OmniStudio effectively in 2026. So basically, I just wanted to clear the confusion. If you are just watching the videos in YouTube, you might be seeing something like this in the managed package designer. But whatever you can do, you just follow those videos, and you just decide the logics and see how these things are done, and you can implement the same thing over here. There will be no issues, and actually it's faster. So if I just click on activation and deactivation, it's just in a matter of seconds, right? But here, if I just click on activate, it will activate, compilation will done, then Omni LWC will be deployed, then it will done. So it will take much more time. So development times also got reduced, right? So this is basically all about if you want to learn Omni Studio in 2026, right? You might be a fresher, you might be someone who already worked on the Omni Studio 2 3 years back, and now coming to Omni Studio again, and you are seeing differences. So I hope I am able to clear the confusion, right? So yeah, this is all about this video, and thank you for watching.